What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station. No one's dies for anything and everything animation, including a certain sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea. Wow, I'm getting better at that. And today we are reviewing another SpongeBob episode. Today we're taking a look at Clams, one of my personal favorites of not only this season, but the whole series. It is a clever parody of course, Steven Spielberg's Jaws, if you couldn't already tell that by the amazing title card here. And in this episode, Mr. Krabs gets his millionth dollar. And to celebrate and thank Squidward and SpongeBob for all their hard work, what does he do? He takes some clam fishing. And it doesn't go very swimmingly. From SpongeBob not being able to cast very well, from Squidward's endlessly complaining. And then it gets even worse when a clam decides to eat Mr. Krabs' millionth dollar, and he absolutely, well, pretty much goes insane over it. There's a lot of great highlights in this episode, but I've only picked two. The first one, I'm gonna try to just play it for you because pictures don't do the scene justice. I'll put some text or something over it to hopefully not get struck down by friggin' Viacom. So, yep, here's highlight number one. Enjoy. Yeah, that scene is amazing. And as for the second highlight, it is the ending, where Mr. Krabs literally gives up everything to the clam except for his head and his one arm just to get back his dollar. Like, that is gruesome stuff that would not fly in today's climate. So, yeah, you gotta get the episode credit for that much at least. As for the final verdict, yeah, this episode's a 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10. I really love this episode. And even if you're not the biggest fan of Jaws, like me, I personally find it pretty overrated. This is still a clever parody and a great episode. Great writing, great humor, characters and character, and sometimes epic and sometimes just nuts. So, yeah, Clams is a fantastic, phenomenal episode and easily one of the best of Season 3. Alright, now time to talk a little bit more negatively, because we gotta talk about the Great Snail Race. Well, nothing like following up a masterpiece like Clams for a underwhelming pile of mediocrity like this. So in this episode, Squidward gets himself a snail and decides to enter it into the Bikini Bomb snail race. But then, after he insults Gary, SpongeBob takes it to heart and trains Gary to also go in the race. But he trains him like way too hard. Like way too hard. He is outright unlikable and so out of character in this episode. But it's saved by a few things. He does realize at the end what he did was wrong. And, of course, Patrick just steals the whole show here. Whether it's in my highlight, which is the many times that he mispronounces Squidward's name. Property of Squidward tent poles. Squidward tortellini! Like, just every time Squidward's last name is mispronounced, it's so funny. But Patrick's is definitely the funniest one. And then there's also the rock gag where he's like, yeah, thanks, I know. He's got nerves of steel. You can run, but you can't hide, SquarePants. And then there's also the little cutaway gag with Sandy where, yeah, that does pay off into a really funny ending. And it is kind of cathartic to see SpongeBob get booted after how horribly he treated Gary. But again, that's the reason why this episode is so painfully average, because he's so uncharacteristically horrible to Gary. And this isn't like the modern seasons where you can sometimes make the excuse that that's how it's supposed to be. No, this is pre-movie. You have no excuse. And the writing's not as strong, the plot's kind of average. It's just a very average episode. It could have been something really cool, but instead it's just boring. And then Lightning Larry Luciano is a cool little highlight, and it is a funny cutaway gag, and I do like how they use an instrumentation that will later become Now That We're Men from the SpongeBob movie, which is a really nice little Easter egg. But again, outside of that, the whole episode is just boring. If it weren't for some of those other funny moments I've already mentioned, this would probably be a below average or even a 2. Like, that's how much I was bored and angry at SpongeBob for treating Gary so terribly. And for those reasons, this episode is a 5 out of 10 at best. Very average episode. Just not a fan. Not a fan of this one. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Do all that algorithmic garbage to help the channel grow. And tomorrow, we have a super crabby double feature with midlife crustacean and born again crabs. So, yep, stay tuned for that double feature. Until then, I'm Jackson Small of Animation Station, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah, one little thing I forgot to also note is that some of these are a little out of order. Like, for example, following Clams was SpongeBob BC, but I decided to do the double specials as their own reviews. Outside Party People Branch, because that one just sucks. To, make it a little easier to talk about and not have to feel like it's crammed in. So, yeah. Technically, it's Clams, Ugg, and Great Snail Race, but I did the double special first, and then I went back and did Clams, and now I'm going forward again with Great Snail Race. It's confusing, I know, and I'm sorry. But I promise you it'll be worth it. So, yep. Alright. Just wanted to give that little note. Thanks for watching. Peace.